few minutes early. Wait, well, I'm right on time. This is what a keratin treatment does for your hair. See, I'm not allowed. Whew. As my hairstylist says, I don't have the antique blonde going on. That's what she called it, the antique blonde, where my hair was like sticking out there, 9 miles wide. I like that. That's what she's called. That coarse, as we get older, we get that coarse, curly Q going on, where it's like going all over the place. That's what I can't stand about it. It just kinks and curls and does all the crazy shit. And so I call it the antique blonde. And so the keratin treatment takes care of that. So now it's just like straight, lays good. Hi, Tijuana. I actually have a glue trap sitting in my trash can because that stupid mouse sit there, open trash can up, and he was sitting there going, hi, flip me out. I was screeching, so I got a glue trap sitting in there waiting on his happy butt. It was like, it was like these mice, they just blow my mind. So I'm having my little war with them little critters. Oh, you want to hear a story? Now, you got to envision this. You got to envision this. Because I was freaking out and laughing at the same time. It's like freaking out and laughing. I was freaking out because I was like, oh, my cat. But laughing my butt off, okay? Because Mouse gets on the glue trap. Okay. Cat sees, oh, Mouse, it's not moving. Mouse is for me. She runs in there, breakneck, and she snatches that mouse, which is on the glue trap. So now I got a cat with a mouse that's on the glue trap. So cat takes off with glue trap hanging on her face. And I'm like freaking out, going, oh my God, cat's got the glue trap on her face. And she figures out something's on my face. And she's running around. And I'm freaking out, going, oh my God. She starts slinging her face. Luckily, it wasn't stuck to her face. And she slings it off. And now I got mouse glue trap stuck on the wall. All I was thinking is, oh my God, this cat's got a glue trap stuck to her face. I was like, because I was figured if she got stuck to anything, it'd be her foot, and I could just like oil it off. No, because I got him back in a room where she can't get to. But no, she takes off breakneck speed, sees the mouse on the glue trap, and goes near and snatches it with her little face. I was like freaking out, and I was just like, "Oh my God, how am I going to get you loose from that glue trap?" And then, I mean, she's like, I was just like, "Oh my God," and I was like, just envision that cat glue trap stuck to face as she's got a mouse on it. It was like, oh, these animals. It's like, oh. So now it's like, if I get ready to go in that room, I chase her off because I don't want her, in case there's one on a glue trap in there, to go running in there and snatch the mouse off the glue trap again. Would you go away? Go, go. Waiting to see if any more of y'all show up. Go away, go away, go away. But yeah, I was tripping. I was just like, oh my God. Because I could just see me going in the vet with the cat with the glue trap stuck to her face. But luckily, she just had the mouse and not the glue trap stuck to her. But I was yelling. I peeled, I got it off the wall. And it was just like, oh my God. I was like, good Lord. If you weren't playing catch and release, we wouldn't have the glue traps. You're supposed to catch and release, or not catch and release, but, catch and get rid of. Because they were getting where they were taking over the house. Because I think I'm up to I've gotten rid of 14 of them. They were taking over the house, so it was like I had to do something. So it's like, yeah, we're not letting all these mice overrun the house. That's too many. When you got 1 or 2, that's not so bad. When you got 14, that's the war is on. The war is on. It's like, no, we're not having that many mice in the house. No, not even. And I can't poison them because of the cat, because if she gets a hold of a poison one, it could hurt her. But yeah, envision that. Cat, glue trap stuck on face, yeah. No, that wasn't the plan. I'm surprised Nick stayed on as late as she did last night. And I'm glad to hear they're coming out with a shrimp boat one, because then you can have your little Piros on one side and your shrimp boats at one side. Then I might actually do my bigger ones on the kitchen table. Because after we're done with this event, then, then I could actually do the big one on the table. Hi, Janelle. Oh. We're up to 3. We're up to 3. Oh, I'm going to tell you about the ADHD test. Do y'all have a second verification on your phones to where you have to do those numbers when you're buying stuff online, where you like to get in your PayPal and stuff, where you go there and it'll make you do like those 5 numbers to finish, buying stuff. Of course, I could never remember the 5 numbers. I can get the 3, and then it's like, oh crap. So now I finally I have to write them down because I can't remember all 5 of them. It's like, oh, really? Well, what you do? Dog, now really? Stop it. What? No. Wait. My dog took that. No. Stop. What you doing? That's what my dog took off with. You do not need to eat scissors. You are such a hot little dang mess. Puppies are not for the weak, let me tell you. Puppies are not for the weak. We got the Mutt-Nut, we got Tijuana, we got Jen M. But yeah, puppies are not for the weak. It's like, not for the weak. Not for the weak of heart. No. It's like, falls off and she takes off and you got to chase her and then she'll finally drop them. And then I got to figure out what she has. Hi, Rissa. I'd say I got her, and I know she wasn't no 8 months. She's probably about 8 months now, 7, 8 months now, but oh my God. I'd say she's probably now she's probably house trained after she's decimated every carpet in my house. It's like, yeah, now we're house trained. After, yeah. And then, and she does this thing where, I'll be walking and she'll come up and run up behind me and just slam into the side of my legs, the back of my legs, and just about take me out. And she'll do that to the dogs too. It's like, shit, stop that. And like the dogs, they'll be walking along and she'll come and do it to them, just wham. It's like, she's at that age. And it's like, would you stop that? You're going to knock me over. And like, I go to get in bed and she's like sitting in my spot. And it's like, would you let me in that bed? I finally got where I pick her up and just toss her to the other side. And it's like, if you don't let me in the bed, I'm just going to shank your ass. So I get my coffee. I've been doing stuff all morning. And so I made my coffee. But did I drink my coffee? No. So now I'm having cold coffee. Quite frankly, I'm having coffee, but it's cold coffee. But it's still coffee. But let me tell you about this ADHD and how I actually, when I got done with that damn thing, I looked at that woman and I said, I just want to know how the hell that tests for ADHD. Just tell me that. How did that test for ADHD? I said, maybe dementia, maybe stupidity, but ADHD, Rocky, no. But I was like, I no, that was torture. They'll sit there and she looks at me and she goes, now repeat after these numbers after me. And she goes, I'm gonna give you two numbers. And she'd give me two numbers. And she goes, now repeat after me. And I repeat them. And then she'd go, now repeat these. And I'd do that. And then she goes, now I'm gonna tell you three numbers. And we did that. And she goes, now I'm gonna tell you four numbers. And I could do some of them. And it got to where I couldn't do them though. Five numbers, no. I could get the first three and then I'd lose them. And then six was a no-go. I could get the first three and then I'd lose them. And then she goes, now I'm going to give you two numbers, repeat them backwards. I could do that. Three, I could do backwards. Four, I could get the last. I could get the last two, she told me, but I couldn't get the first two because I was focusing so hard on the last two. She said that I could get the last two, but I couldn't get the first two. And then she went all the way to five. And I could always get the last two, but I couldn't get the first, so many. And then it was like, she'd give you a bunch of numbers and she goes, now start with the lowest numbers and give me the from the lowest to the highest. And I'd be like 1, 2, or 1, 3. She goes, where's the rest of them? I said, I don't know. I lost them on the dashboard. They're in that dashboard somewhere. She goes, dashboard. I said, yeah, they're in there somewhere, but they're gone. They're gone. I said, they be gone. And then she would like go through 50 single pictures, like an ice cream cone and a roller skate. And then she goes, okay, now throw two pictures up. What do you remember? And I got to where I was having to do memory association, like, I like ice cream and I don't like the roller skate. And that's how I remember the damn pictures. And I was having a hard time focusing on them pictures because I was getting so damn bored. I was like, you could see I was wandering off and I was going, what are we doing this for? And you could tell I couldn't focus. I was like all over the place. And I was like, oh my God. And we did like 3 rounds of those. And I was like, ooh. That was probably an ADHD test because I was having a hard time with that one. And then they'd give you a computer screen and it was crazy. Then they give you this one of those little fill in the bubble things, and it was 350 fill in the bubbles of, did you want to get out of bed today? Did you want to hurt yourself today? Did you want to hurt someone else today? Do you like coffee? Just stupid off the wall questions. I was like, what the hell? Really? I was like, huh? I did that for 3.5 hours, you guys. I was like, what? Do you hear voices? Do you see things? Do you see people? I was just like, oh my God. Can you imagine doing that for 3.5 hours? I come in there and I hand her, I was like, just tell me how that tested for ADHD. I go back in 2.5 weeks to find out the results, but I was just like, oh my hell. Hi, Billy A. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine? Well, guys, I am on my 4th canvas for this event. My 4th I just started my 4th one. I'm doing the same one as Tammy Landberg right now. I got it from Temu. And I think I did something wrong. I did something. Because I got an extra color. It's got 24 colors. But I got an extra color somehow. Somehow I got an extra color. I got an extra thing of color. I don't know where it goes. I don't know what it is. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm on my 4th canvas. I did the the 50 by 50 from Rose Prophet, the Goddess of Spring. And then I did, oh, that was the second one I did. Trying to think of what all I did. Let me pull out my amazing little Tommy, you're gonna get something put on you. A little logbook. I'm so bad on my logbook, guys. I just put the pictures in there. I got to sit down someday and dun, dun, dun. And then I did the mutton nut one, the one mutton nuts on, the sage and hood, and then I just finished that amazing piece. Dun, dun. And she was a 5550. And actually, I threw that in for about a week. Worked on that for about a week. And then I'm working on that now. And then I'll go back and finish the Almost Heaven. And then what I'm going to do is do a couple of little 30 by 40s. And then I'm going to start Magical Christmas because I want to get it done. I really wanted to get Magical Christmas done this year. I really do. I really do. I really do. And it should only take me like 3 weeks, I would think. Because it's, yeah, probably 3 weeks of really working on it. I think after I finish this live, I will probably not sit down and diamond paint because I want to get all my floors vacuumed and pick up all this gut off what my dogs have tore the floor up. They have unstuffed every toy they have. Took one of their ropes and they have pulled all the strands out of the rope and have it all over the floor from one end of my floor to the other. To where they're not happy unless my floor, it's bad, guys. It's bad. I'll have to go out in the back and get the rake. I'll have to get the backyard rake and rake my living room so that I can vacuum it. And then I'm going to vacuum all the floors, including the bathroom, and then vacuum. And then I'll go back to diamond painting. That's my goal for the day is vacuuming. That's my only goal is to vacuum. And then I'm going to go back to diamond painting. And then I'm going to try to get at least half of this done. I think it's a 40 by 70. I think that's what it is. I think. And so get it done. And I'm doing it the opposite of her. She started at the bottom. I'm starting at the top. I start all my paintings at the top left. And the only reason I do that, there is a reason for it, because I don't want, as I finish mine, I don't want drills in my lap. And so, because I work mine in my lap, I don't want my completed drills in my lap because I don't want to knock them off. And so I always do it to where they would go to the top. And so they always go to the top. My completed drills go up, and then I roll them on a little roll. So that's the reasoning for it. It's always go to the top. And I always start on the left so that I'm not putting my arm on completed drills. So that's my reasoning for that. And I actually, all my stuff is in my Gems Flow app, so I can eventually get all my stuff and put it into my journal. And my journal, get this, is my Josephine Wall journal. And there is a diamond painting of this one. I think it was a mystery diamond painting. So I think this is actually the smallest diamond painting because they've all been 50 by 50s, I believe. So they've all been pretty good sizes. All been pretty good sizes. Yeah. And I think I'm actually at the halfway mark on the Almost Heaven. So, and that's a pretty big one. Billy A, did you get your canvas? Because it went out, I think, Thursday. So I was wondering if you got it. And for the grand prize one, where I drop off in town, they will actually weigh it for me because I know it ain't gonna fit on my kitchen scale. That sucker's huge. So they said I can bring it into them and they will weigh it and label it for me. So I was like, yes, they will weigh it and label it. I was like, yes, 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 yes. So I was so happy. I was very, 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 very happy. They made my day. So they was like, as long as it's not over 150 pounds. I said, well, it's not 150 pounds, but it's about 30. Yeah, and it's the same one as the mystery. So I'm pretty sure it's the same one for holding the shell. If I'd known it was that one, I would have got that mystery. I have quite a few of hers. I have the one. I have uh, the one with the dragon where it has the dancers on it. I have one where God, it's a lady. It's done in peachy colors, and she's sleeping. I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to do a like a slideshow of all the ones I have of hers, and it's like she's sleeping, and there's all these pictures of people in her dreams. So yeah, I'll have to go through my Jim's flow and pull all the ones I have of hers because I got quite a few, and like I only have like 40 by 50 left on my big one left over there. So I'm gonna have to start working on it. That's what I ought to do in November is just finish my big one over there so I can get that off my table and then take a damp cloth and get all the dust off of it, and seal it, and get it up out. Ooh. I know I have Virgo and I have I can't think. I have Virgo and I have a couple others. Of course, mine is Cancer, and I didn't like that one at all. Did not like Cancer at all. Did not like Cancer at all. Well, let me get my thing that has the wheel on it because I know that's what y'all are here for, and it doesn't look like anyone else is coming. So we will get this done. Hmm. Because I did this wheel last night. I don't even think I had that one. I'll let y'all look. Look for your names. I went over it 2 or 3 times. Make sure you see. There's my nut. There's Karina. Make sure I got those two on there. Everyone looking for their names? Let me see. Sandy. I don't think I missed anyone. I went over it 2 or 3 times last night. Anyone missing anything? See anyone missing? Yeah, it's pretty full. Let's put that pull it over that way. Okay. We're gonna spin. And it is Dawn. Dawn Calathis. Or Calathis? Dawn won the prize package this week. And I will go put that in to It is such a pain in this phone. Because I'm trying to do it in the phone from like years ago. And it's like doing it in the one from years ago. Okay, I'm going to go on here with edit this. For week 6. And the poor girl don't even know she won. She will be shocked, won't she? I'm putting in the congratulations week 6 winner. While I think about it, This is so fun when you have ADHD when you're doing this stuff. Because let me tell you, it is real. Because it is like if you put it down and you don't do it right then, you're liable to, like, your brain goes, wah! I mean, your brain just goes out to lunch, and you'll remember it like next week. Hi, Bonnie. I mean, your brain will go out to freaking lunch. Glad to see you, Bonnie. Your brain goes out to lunch. Dawn just won prize pack week 6. I will take it into town on Monday and drop it off, and it'll go out to her. So she won week 6. And then we'll have 2 more. And I'm trying to think of what I pulled out for this Wednesdays. Pulled out a couple more canvases of ones I'd never do. And they're like ones y'all are gonna want. I'm telling you. Like one is a Dakota. I can't remember what the other one was, but it's like one you're gonna want. Can't remember what it was. I mean, they're not ones. Oh, I need to check and see if I've heard back from check and see if I can get into Etsy from this one. Yeah. See if I heard back from evidently not. But I need to find out if I heard back, if y'all have heard back from I need to find out if y'all heard back from I guess I'll do it afterwards. From Jesus. From Robin, because I'd sent her a notification about who won her canvas to see if y'all heard from her. See if y'all heard from her. Yeah, one's a Dakota canvas, and I can't remember what the other one is that I pulled out that I'm giving away. But it's a one y'all want. Oh, it's Ivy Dollamore. That's what it is. It's an Ivy Dollamore. It's Warm Witch. It's a Warm Witch. One's self-portrait and the other one's Warm Witch. Oh, ow, ow. Oh, right here. I finally got this one unlocked, but it's up here now. It's from when I fell. I fell last week, and now I got a different one that hurts. Now they're looking at me and they're like, "What are you sending out?" Because it's like different things I'm sending out every week. Oh. Yeah, I've got 2 more Captured by Radiance gift cards and another DAC card to give out. And then so I think I've given out 2 DAC cards so far. And then I've given out 1 Captured by Radiance. So I've got 2 more Captured by Radiance, and I've got another DAC. And then I got another yeah, I fell on my bad arm. I was trying to pull out a couple canvases, and I accidentally stepped on one of my what the hell are those things called? Foam board. And I feel when I stepped on the foam board, it just slid right down, and I slid with it. And it was like, wow, that was a ride. A foam board ain't stable; it just kind of slides right on down. So me and the foam board went for a little like ride, and we went riding, and we slid right on down. And I mean, it basically is just one little muscle right up here at the top of my shoulder. And let me tell you, that lady will get it out tomorrow. She'll probably have me off 5 inches off the table again with me howling like a banshee. I think she enjoys that. I really do. I mean, yeah, I really do. And because she's smiling the whole time she's doing that shit. But and that shit really hurts too. Let me tell you, these are not pleasant massages. These are very painful, painful. Yeah, painful. I mean, they're effective, but they're painful massages with a capital P. I tell you. And oh my god, I think TENS units would be more pleasant. Let me tell you. I mean, oh, oh. And like she'll do trigger point things where she'll take her finger, one finger, and she'll press on it and just, I mean, like and she'll press until it relieves. I mean, she'll just like until it finally breaks loose. I mean, and you'll feel it. And so now, whenever it really hurts and it's locked up, and for it'll work for Charlie horse too. Hurts like an MF. But your Charlie horse, take it and take one finger and press on and just press as hard as you can, and it'll hurt. It'll hurt. But eventually, that Charlie horse will give to that pressure, and it'll actually you'll feel it when it finally gives, and it'll just say boop and gone. But oh my god! But it'll just eventually go poof and gone. And it's one finger and just press right in the middle of it, and it just goes poof and gone. But oh my lord, until it says poof and gone, you feel it. And that woman, oh, and her husband's the one that told me. He says, "Yeah," he says, "she gets up underneath your armpit, and you'll be like howling." I was like, "Oh my god, you're serious, aren't you?" And yeah, oh, it shouldn't even be called a massage. I don't know what you should call it, but it shouldn't be called a massage. Torture chamber. Um. Uh, well, I mean, technically, I guess it shouldn't be called a massage because it's from the VA and it was for a treatment. And since they're paying for it, I guess it wouldn't be, something pleasant that you would enjoy. So, and it took an act of Congress to get them to give it to me. I mean, literally, it did. I asked for it like in April. I think in April, I asked for it, and I didn't get it until September. I asked for it, didn't hear nothing, asked for it again. I watched her type it in. Next 3 months, I went in and saw it. I said, I still haven't got it. They canceled it because they didn't know how to order it. And so she goes, I'll order it. And then 2 weeks later, I got the paper saying, you have to do this, do this. And I went in there and she goes, no, I'll just do it. Yes. The first one was a torture hour, and now it's a torture half hour. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And I mean, it's like really weird because it's like focused on certain spots. Like sometimes it was like toward one spot in my arm. One time it was like a place underneath like my armpit, like right in my side under my breast. I was like, wow, okay. And then she got in this one spot underneath like my armpit, and oh my god, I thought I was gonna die. I was like, I literally was the only thing on the table was my feet and my neck. Everything else was about 5 inches off the table as I was howling. And her husband was probably in the other room laughing because he probably knew what was going on. Because I was like making some noise because that shit hurt. I mean, I was like, oh my God. That's all I could say was, oh my flipping God. I went on Temu the other day and I bought these little 20 by 20 frogs. I'll have to show them the next. They're psychedelic 20 by 20. I mean, they're not meant to be, you know, perfect, but they're little 20 by 20 psychedelic frogs. And I bought them for my kid's bathroom. Because I can go down to Dollar Tree and buy little 8 by 8, square frames. But they're little psychedelic frogs sitting with mushrooms. I thought they were so cute. And they'll be quick. I could whoop them out like in no time. And they were those little, I think I got them for like a total of $10. They were like $2.50 a piece. I mean, it was like, oh my God, Temu got me. Temu got me. It was like, Temu got me. Oops. It was one of those, oops, Temu got me. Yeah, when you go for massage treatment, there ain't nothing pleasant about a massage treatment. And she told me, she goes, oh, this is nothing. You should see when guys come in for erectile dysfunction treatment. She's doing to them for erectile dysfunction. I couldn't even envision what that was about. I was just like, I don't even want to know if I want to go there. I mean, I was trying to envision that, but quite frankly, I couldn't. I just couldn't. I was like, I don't know if y'all can, but I just couldn't. I was just like, I just can't figure that one out. What I just couldn't figure that one out. I just quite frankly couldn't. My poor hairstylist. I took, because I'm trying to get rid of my nails. I've been handing them out hand over fist. I mean, y'all getting handfuls of them. Grand prize winners getting shitloads of them. My girlfriend, got like 9 of them in her pack with her diamond paintings. So I took, a crap load of them into her. And I mean, all the hairstyles, I was like, take what you want. Take what you want. And so she had a whole bunch of them. And I went in and went to the bathroom and come back. She put a bunch of them back. I said, what'd you do that for? She goes, well, no. I was like, I'm trying to give them away. And she put like half of them back. I was like, girl, I mean, it's like, you can't give them away. She goes, well, I feel bad. I'm like, I'm trying to give them to you. Can't even do a nice thing. Color Street. I mean, in your prize packs, you're getting 4. And in the grand prize, you're getting like 8, 10. I'm not even sure how many's in there. So it's like, you can't be nice. People are so used to people being a-holes. You try to be nice to them, they won't take it. You cannot. People are so hateful to people that you can't be nice to people. Have you noticed that? If you try to be nice to people, they won't take someone being nice to them. They don't know how to handle someone being nice to them or someone just giving them something. They don't know how to take someone giving them something. Have you noticed that? People do not know how to handle people being nice. They just don't. They just don't. It is so sad. That's the way it is. My poor granddaughter, who is only 12, just sent me, she's sitting in church and she said, Nana, I don't judge you. She goes, I judge people by their actions, not by what they say they are or who they are, but by their actions. I still love you. That's sad. That is sad. Hi, Snuggie. But literally, she's sitting in church and sent me that. She goes, I still love you. She goes, I don't judge people by what they are or what they say they are. I judge them by their actions. So I don't know what they're preaching today, but that's sad. That a 12-year-old felt she needed to send me that. That she still loved me and that she didn't judge me by what I said I was or what I am, but by how I act. Is that not sad? Oops, sorry. I put my coffee down and it made my cord and she's in church and felt she needed to send that. So evidently they're preaching something about, burn all the witches or some shit. That's why I won't step foot in church. It's like, that's crappy. Because she flat told me one time, she goes, I think you can be a Christian witch. And I said, yeah, you can. But that's pretty bad whenever she felt the need that she said that she still loved me no matter what I was, or it's about depending on how you act. And I was just like, yep. And I hate to inform her, but I think her mom's in the church because of how bad her dad acts. Because, when you grab onto something that tightly for the support, there's something going on at home. There's something going on at home. Because when you go from you weren't in church to all of a sudden you're hanging on to it tooth and nail, there's something going on. I know because I lived it. When you lived it and you see the signs, you've been there, done that. All I can do is tell her I'm there for you, so that when shit hits the fan, I'm there for you. That's all you can do. Just tell your kids you're there for them. Because eventually shit'll hit the fan. So how has your week been? Has your week been wonderful? So. Oh, my hair looks lopsided. My head looks lopsided for some reason. Good week, bad week, mediocre week. I just know my headache is gone. So evidently the weather has finally flipped. The barometric pressure has finally leveled out. I have one of those heads that when the pressure is doing this, I feel it. And when it finally does its thing, my headache finally levels out. I'm good to go. I need to put my shoes on and walk over and get my brother's friend and ask him to come over with a sawzall and a screwdriver and some screws and just cut off that one piece of thing out there. Oh, but Sabrina, I'm sorry. Do y'all have paraffin wax out there? Maybe you can get some paraffin wax out there and melt it in a pan and just put your hands in it and let it melt and just put your hands in it. And then, because that's what the VA gave my daughter. And she said it really has helped a lot. Arthritis sucks. A lot. That sucks, Muttnut. Yeah, I've been up a lot, and we ought to get on and do like go on stream and just stream together, hang out and talk. Yeah, my little jackador. Those are an interesting combo. Let me tell you, jackadors are interesting. I'm not. Yeah, very interesting. Do y'all ever watch this guy called Healthy Gamer? I'm gonna tell you, he is. I came across him. He's on YouTube, and I came across him, and he has helped me. My therapist told me, he said, because I was telling him this week about something that happened to me from listening. I was just listening. I was sitting here listening to him as I diamond painted, and it was weird. It put me into like a hypnotic state, and I started reliving my childhood. But I was reliving it like a third person. It was like it was almost like I was in a hypnotic state and watching it like I wasn't me. It was like I was watching it. When I was done, I knew it was me, but it was watching it like it was a movie. It was like I wasn't thinking, oh, that's me. I was watching it like I was watching another child, because all I was thinking is, oh, that poor child. I wasn't saying, oh, that was me. All I was thinking is, oh, that poor child, that poor child. The whole time I was thinking that poor child. By the time I was done, I was crying for that poor child. And then it dawned on me, oh my God, that poor child was me. It made me realize how horrible and violent my childhood was, because I had blocked all that out and forgot all of that. And it made me realize how violent, how traumatic, and some of the horrible things that I had lived through as a child and have literally locked away, forgot, but it has been the deep-seated problems that have been the problems that have caused problems in my marriages, have been the problem of my marriages, my relationships, my adult life. I mean, literally my adulthood, my teenagehood, period. He said, it's a miracle you have grown up and been functional. He said, now we can start working. He said, he goes, number one, people have paid thousands of dollars to find a psychiatrist or someone that could get them to this point. How did you find this person? I said, on YouTube. I just came across them. He said, do you realize how lucky you were to find someone that could get you to this point? He said, people pay thousands of dollars to find someone that could do that. He said, you have been so lucky to find someone that could do this for you. He said, you have been so lucky. He said, It sounds like he put you in a hypnotic state to where you were able to literally go back, watch your childhood as a third party, and not just say, oh, I'm looking at my childhood, but open up your childhood to where you were able to actually access all the stuff in your childhood as a third party and see all of your childhood and see what happened to you as a child and say, oh, I didn't cause it, and have empathy for that child to where you know that you had nothing to do with it. You didn't cause it. You were not to blame, and so that you have full knowledge of what happened to you. And I mean, all I kept thinking was that poor child, that poor child, that poor child. And then it was like, oh my God, I am that poor child. That was the weirdest, surreal experience I have ever had in my life. And to have found someone on YouTube that I got that from was so weird. And he's got the most soothing, calming voice. And to have found someone, and usually he's helping gamers, people they're gamers, they don't go out and deal with people in real life. They're just gamers, they don't go out, they're stuck in that gamer mentality, and he's like helping them. And he's a real psychiatrist, guys. I mean, he is a real psychiatrist. He was a neurosurgeon that got tired of being a neurosurgeon, so he went back and became a psychiatrist, and he's a licensed psychiatrist, and he does this therapeutic stuff on YouTube for gamers, and kind of does it this way. No, I was just sitting here listening to him, and he was literally doing a meditation thing, teaching people how to meditate, taking them in meditation. And I was just kind of following along. And he was talking about how to, do shadow work, and how to, take yourself into shadow work and go back and work with your shadow and find out what's the trauma in your childhood was. And he was showing you how to, just go into your childhood and find that stuff out. And I was just listening to him, and I'm real susceptible because I've gone to some of those hypnotist shows and stuff like that. So I'm real susceptible to stuff if I really listen. And I was just sitting there, and no, I haven't met him in person. I was just really listening to him. And next thing I know, I must have went under. And so I was just listening to him. And so as I was listening to him, I must have went under and just like started doing what he said. And next thing I know, I was reliving my childhood. I mean, and with reliving my childhood, I actually remembered that my stepdad used to get a kick out of when I was like 5, 6, 7. And, and they would put me in the bathroom to go pee. And then when I would come out, they would be fucking gone. They would have literally got in the car and drove off round the block. And I would come out, and they would be, and this is in like the suburbs of LA. They would be gone. My family would be freaking gone. I would come out and they would be gone. I would be terrified. And they would be gone. Yeah, I'll share the link I'll hunt the link up for him and put him in the description after, because this stupid that's the only thing I hate about StreamYard is it won't let you put links in unless you can remember the link in the description. But once it gets over into actual YouTube, then I can post links. So that's why I always put it in there, we'll post after. So once I can get it over into YouTube, then I can go back in there and post links. So as soon as that's done, I'll go over into YouTube and post links. But yeah, and if you'll go in there and find all his stuff, go in there and just hunt and peck through his stuff. He's got a bunch of excellent ADHD stuff. He's got a crap load of excellent stuff. I mean, excellent. I mean, I actually go and just go look, and like when he's working with other people, because he actually does work with other people, and I'll sit there and listen to his sessions with them because it makes a lot of sense. He has helped me immensely. I go in and talk to my therapist, and he goes, "Who have you been working with?" I go, "Oh, so a psychiatrist on YouTube." He goes, "Keep listening to him. He is doing you some excellent good." But I mean, he is like awesome, guys, and he's got this. He has actually been teaching me how to slowly meditate. He's been teaching me how to slow my brain down, how to rewire it. I mean, he's awesome, awesome. And he's, like I said, he's a licensed. He is a real, honest to God psychiatrist who used to be as screwed up as we are, guys. Because he used to have, he says, honest to God, guys, he said, I had ADHD. I used to be really bad. He said, I had like a bad GPA. I was flunking out of school, decided I didn't want to do that. He said, I finally pulled my pants up, got my brain right. He said, I went from flunking out of college to I finally decided I really didn't want to do something. So I finally got my head up my out of my ass. And so I finally, he said, I went and became a neurosurgeon. And I decided I didn't like that. So I just finally went and got my psychiatry degree, and then I got kind of bored with that, because I got ADHD. So I kind of threw this in the mix and we kind of play around in here. So, what he does on YouTube is his play around. And he'll actually sit there and do little podcasts, and he'll find a gamer and he'll help them, because the ones who can't go out in public, and he'll find what their problem is, and they'll do a little thing where, why can you not go out in public? What's your problem? Or people who can't go out and date. Well, why can you not go out and date? He'll help them. So it's like he's really kind of cool to listen to. And so, it's like, hey, maybe if I get a couple of, cents, but I'm one of them people, if I'm not driving the car, I'm stuck to you like freaking glue. It's like I won't. It's like almost like let me hold on to your pants, because I was always terrified that if I lost sight of you, and I couldn't figure out why. Could not figure out why. If I was so terrified, if I lost sight of you, I was going to be like stranded. Couldn't figure out where that came from. Now I know, because when I was 6, 7 years old, some jackass thought it was hilarious to drive off and leave me stranded at gas stations. And then drive up 5, 10 minutes later laughing as I'm sitting there hysterical. It's like that left an imprint on me, like, and then like, I mean, my memories of growing up with this jackass is him, beating my mom half to death, strangling her, setting the house on fire, trying to beat me, busted my sister's face open, through all that, I remembered him trying to sexually assault me. It's like, I mean, it's crazy. And all this I remembered from going back. And I mean, it was like, I was literally crying because I was like, that poor child. Literally, poor child. Remembered my only friend because, my childhood was always me running down the street at night in my pajamas to have the neighbors call the cops. So no one wanted me playing with their kids. So I had no friends. I mean, I literally had no friends, because who wants their kid playing with the kid that's running down the road at night to call the cops? So my friend as a child was this like old man that was probably in his late 60s that was always tinkering in his garage. So he would let me hang out in his garage with him and show me how to build like bird houses and shit and play solitaire. That was my friend growing up. Was an old man that took me under his wing because no one would let me play with their kids. Is that not sad? That was my childhood. And that's what I was able to remember. And my poor therapist was like, wow. He said, it's a miracle you grew up to be a functioning adult, actually. He said, it's a miracle. He said, I can see why you blocked all that out. He said, but now we have something to work with. He says, I can see why you blocked it. I can see why we couldn't get to it. And he goes, and you were so lucky to find someone that could do that for you without you paying thousands of dollars for it. But yeah, I'll put the link for him in for you in there, because he's kind of an amazing little guru. He's from India, probably. And he does kind of talks about the Vata, and I understand all that because I worked with a Hindu doctor. The doctor I worked with when I was in Cath Lab, and he talks really clear English, really clear. I mean, his accent is nothing. He's very clear English. But I understand kind of where he's coming from because I worked with a Hindu priest. So, and we had these deep discussions about, the Hindu religion and the Vata and all that stuff at like 1, 2 in the morning when he decided, because my doctor didn't want to come to work until he'd scheduled stuff for 8. I felt so sorry for his patients, because his patients would be there and be put on the table at 8 o'clock in the morning, but he didn't want to bring his happy ass to work till 10. So his patients would be laying there on the table for 2 damn hours before he ever got there. And then he wanted to come in at 10, work for a couple hours, then go to his clinic, and then come back about 6, and then work until like 4 in the morning. And then we could go home, sleep for a couple hours, and then have to work those crazy hours again for a week. Thought I was going to die. That was the roughest 7 years of my life. I'm serious. They work crazy hours. But during those crazy hours, him and the girl who was really deep religious would talk about religion. So we got a lot of his religious beliefs. And he had this picture on his phone, and it was a woman that looked like a monkey with boobs. And I was like, what's this? Inquiring minds want to know. I'd be like, what's this? And that's how I asked. I was like, what's this? And it was like one of his gods. And I was like, okay, explain. And I'm multifaceted. It's like, so I pull up his music. She'd be like, what are you doing? I'm like, you have your music. He's got his music. It's like everybody has their stuff. So I pull up his Hindu religious music, and I'd pull up her Christian music, and we flip back and forth. I'm like, everybody's got their stuff, and everybody has their rights. And we will flip back and forth. Yeah. So it was like, yep, we are all multifaceted, and we're not going to play favorites. Sometimes I think I drove him nuts. Because it was like, yep, I'm not playing favorites. Everybody gets a little each. So yeah, but I will definitely put links, and like I said, go through and like pick and choose what his topics are, because he has like I say, he's a psychiatrist, and he has multifaceted topics. They're a little bit of everything. Everything. So pick and choose, because he goes over everything. Everything, and they're all quite interesting. So I kind of listen to them all, because every little bit helps. He'll go into like, even with ADHD, like I found out it's like the executive center, and like why it acts the way it does. It's like why it's not all about the hyperactivity and all. It's like with kids, why they're so out there, because they're like 2 years behind. Like my grandson's like, why they act the way they do, because they're 2 years behind, literally. like 2 years behind. Why the 7-year-old acts like a 5-year-old, and why the 5-year-old acts like a 3-year-old? Because literally, their actions are like 2 years behind their age limit because they just cannot process at their age limit. And it's like you'll have to listen to him because he'll tell you. And it's like they're firing like ooh, and they can't process it and they can't put it in the proper place. And I can't explain it the way he does, but he explains it and it makes total sense. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And like with ADHD, that's how I figured it out. I was listening to him and it was like, I was like, I did not realize I had it since I was a child because when he was sitting there and he was doing a podcast, he was teaching a class. And I was like, someone asked me, well, when do you think it started? And I said, college. And then he was teaching a class and he was like, well, if you're a child and you were a loner and you were a daydreamer and you really didn't have very many friends, if you had any friends, you maybe had one. Um, if you liked the topic, you did well in it. If you didn't like the topic, you did crap in it. Um, I mean, I was like, well, yeah, that was me. Check, check, check. If you didn't study, you couldn't study. And then it came down to the wire and you studied right before the test. And I was like, check. And then in college, you couldn't focus. And then you crammed the night before. And I was like, check, 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 check. It was like, yep, that was me, 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 me. Very impulsive. It was like, hits my hot brain. Don't think about it. Just go do it. Check, 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 check. I was like, man, okay, maybe I've been ADHD my entire damn life, you know? And then if your house has piles everywhere, check. I was like, okay, evidently I've had that shit every time. Oh, yep, whole damn life. So it was like, that's how I figured out I had it up my whole life because I listened to his podcast. I was like, all right, because I really didn't know. I, honest to God, did not know. Because my whole life, I thought it was just because you ran around like a crazy fool and hopped up and down. Oh, and then I didn't realize that it was a genetic thing. It's actually genetic. It runs. Then when I got in there and they were like, well, do you have any children? I was like, yeah. And they said, well, do any of them have ADHD? And I was like, both my children do, my son and my daughter. They said, how about your grandchildren? And I was like, out of the five, I definitely know four, and I think the fifth one might too. And they were like, well, damn, then yeah, you probably do too. And I was like, yeah, I think so. So they were like, yeah, if all five of your grandchildren do, and your children, you probably do. So it was like, and then I think my husband does too, or my ex husband does too. So yeah. And then, oh my God, guys, our air show's coming up. Talking about really weird. My ex husband's coming in town for the air show. And my ex husband actually asked my son to ask me if I wanted to bring my two grandsons to the air show because my son and his two kids and his wife are going to the air show with my ex husband. And if I wanted to bring the two boys to the air show and we would all go to the air show together. So the only one not going is my daughter and my granddaughter because they're going to a camp out. Otherwise, the whole nuclear family's going to be there, the original nuclear family together. How weird is that? And his wife is not there. So the original nuclear family, except for my daughter and her daughter, are going to be there. It's kind of strange. Like really strange. It's like going back about, ooh, 20, 30 years. It's like, wow. Because my son's like 16 when we got divorced and he's like 41. So it's like really weird. So that's kind of a strange one. And of course, we were together during the military days, so it's like, yeah, really weird. Of course, I got to get up the butt crack of dawn with the kids to get there. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of weird. It's gonna be kind of weird. It's gonna be kind of weird, because his wife is, I don't know where she's gonna be because she ain't coming with him. It's just gonna be me and him, and then one of our kids, and then the grandkids. So it's gonna be kind of a weird one. Yeah, that'll be a strangey. That one will be a strangey. That will be a new one. Well, guys, I will see y'all Wednesday, and I guess I'll do Ivy Dollamore, and probably, let me see, we could probably do a DAC and a Captured by Radiance. So we'll have a Canvas and DAC and a Captured by Radiance. So how's that sound? 2 gift cards and an Ivy Dollamore. So y'all have a wonderful rest of the weekend. And I'm going to try to get this done and some vacuuming. Oh. And I may actually try to put a background behind my head, make it pretty so y'all don't see that back there. You're welcome, Bonnie. All right. Y'all have a great day. Y'all have a wonderful week until Wednesday. And let me tell you, that canvas turned out beautiful. When I get it in the frame, I'll show you it framed. It turned out beautiful. The Amartine Witch, oh my God. And it's just sparkling. I can see it from over here. Oh my God, the sparkle on it's beautiful. That's the only thing. The rounds sparkle so wonderful. I wish squares sparkled as much as the rounds. Because that's the thing. Rounds sparkle so much better than squares. So there y'all go. Bye. Love y'all. Bye-bye.